this yarn came from, the final days of Joanne's. But I thought it would be kind of fitting to actually talk about grief and loss and just kind of how I'm processing it. To be clear, I'm not having a hard time processing the loss of Joanne's. It's more the loss of a family member. When I was young, my mom had a friend move in with us, and he was a member of our family. He lived with us for years. He was the person I went to when I had nightmares. And I have just such fond memories of him being in our house. And it really was like having a third parent. It was really memories that I would not trade for anything. And I'm really grateful that I'll carry those with me forever. He was someone who my mom knew for many, many years. By the time he passed, I think they had known each other over 40 years, which is a long time. And I do regret that we were not closer in his final years. I could have done more, is something that most people feel when they're processing grief, and it's easy to get lost in the forest of regret, really, of I could have done more, I could have done this, maybe if I did this. It's really easy to get kind of stuck there. And for me, it's been really challenging to kind of move past that, because ultimately that doesn't change the past. It doesn't change that we weren't as close in his final years. One thing that is helping me tremendously with my grief is that I was actually the person to adopt his cat. One thing to know about this person is that he always, as far back as I can remember knowing him, he always had a cat, at least one, and he always loved it as if it was his child. Probably even more than he loved me, let's be real. When I was little, he had a cat named AJ, and AJ was seriously like 20 pounds. He was a huge boy, and he was declawed. So I remember when I was a kid, instead of, getting scratched by getting too close to the cat or driving him nuts or whatever, instead the cat would slap you and it hurt so bad. So anyway, this friend was very much a cat person, and I feel like I am honoring him in such a way by taking his cat and by being the person who is taking care of it and has housed it. This kitty is, he's an orange boy. He's real big. And he's probably like over 15 pounds. He's huge. But he's a big kitty. And he's super sweet. He's just the loveliest of boys. I've had him in my house for about 3 weeks now. And he's adjusting. He's going from a small apartment with one person in it to a house of 4 people and 2 other animals. One of which being a dog, which he's not the biggest fan of these days. But going back to talking about grief, I do feel like having his cat is a great way to honor him and process my regret of not reaching out more as an adult. I feel like this is kind of the biggest thing that I could possibly do. And it really does feel like he would be proud of me for stepping up and taking the cat. One of the hard things about processing grief is, like people say, grief is love with nowhere to go. And I do genuinely feel that. I loved this person as if they were a parent. And I think one of the greatest compliments they ever gave me was that I'm a good mom, which means a lot. I don't talk about my kids often here, but it does mean a lot that he had said that I was a good mom. Processing grief is hard for everyone, and I think that if you're in the thick of it, it helps to have someone to talk to. Even talking to yourself can be helpful, or writing down your feelings can be very helpful. I do want to encourage you, if you're someone who is still listening and watching this, I want you to reach out to me if you're struggling. There's no right way to get through grief, and it never leaves. It just gets smaller. For instance, it's been about 10 years since I lost my grandma, and I loved her so much. She was such a huge part of my life and an inspiration to me, and someone that I really looked up to. And I really feel like she would be proud of me and the life that I have now. And it's been, like I said, almost 10 years, but I do still miss her. What I try to do to reconcile my grief of missing someone with me still being here is I try to find a way that I can be reminded of them in a positive way. So for me, I actually have the same eye color that my grandma had, the same striations in the iris and everything. So I feel like I see her every day when I'm getting ready for the day and I put my glasses on and stuff like that. I feel like she's always with me because I carry a little bit of her with me wherever I go. And with this most recent loss that I've suffered, I feel like I'll have a little bit of him everywhere I go to. Not just because, I'm taking care of his cat, but because he really did help raise me and shape me to be the person that I am. And while, we weren't blood related or anything like that, I do genuinely feel that he was as much of a parent to me as my two parents are. He really looked out for me and my sister and our house and our parents, and really, what more could you ask out of a parent other than to care about you? I don't really know how to end this, but again, if you are struggling going through grief, please reach out. You're not alone. Maybe we can find some commonality and really help each other, and maybe I can help you find some peace in the loss that you suffered. I don't know what you're going through, but I'm happy to hold your hand while we get through it. I really will do my best to help make sure that no matter when you're seeing this, you know that I hear you and understand where you're at. My grief is not bigger than yours. It's not a competition. I really just want to make sure that if you are going through grief, you know you're not alone, and that there are people out here who care, even though they don't know you. There are some rest. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others,